Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hey everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Big E, unfortunately, is here. Shalom, E. Jay, how are you, my
Excellent.
friend?
Thank you for having me. I am happy to be here, Mike.
Are you?
Yes.
Well, that didn't sound like
I'm
it. That
fresh
sounded like
off. I'm fresh off a plate of fish tacos.
that sounded like a forced
For a nap.
response. I could go for a nap too. I agree with you, E.
I don't know about having this full-on lunch, a meal before we do a show.
Yeah, we don't usually do that. We had a nice little meal down at the historic. What was
Lovely, I would say.
it? Lovely,
Well,
I'm
quaint
shocked you guys.
Franklin Grill, was it?
I would have.
That's right. You've got it right.
You could have really snobbed it off if you had sat on the patio.
Oh, I know.
The patio.
Well,
I
area.
opted for air conditioning. I knew Mike would be in full jeans and hoodie.
No, I'm
I
fine.
didn't think
I
he'd
would have
wanna
been
be outside.
I would have been fine with that. I'm not crazy about dealing with buzzing things by me while I eat. Also, it appeared a tad bit overcast, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I was kind of happy to
Didn't
see
wanna
you
risk
guys
it.
inside. Plus, if you're sitting outside, I think that you have to have a wine or something, right?
Yeah, that's spritzer.
Yeah, and then we'd be there all day, and we'd be doing the drunk show part two. So I think it worked well the way we did. Did you guys enjoy the grill?
Very much, Mike.
Yeah.
But I'm more happy to be here, sitting here with you.
See, it sounded like a stock answer when I
No.
asked you before. I'm not being a dick, dude, but it sounded like you've got these bullet points in your head that are like,
Did it sound
yeah,
like I
I'm
was
happy to
reading
be
that?
here.
Happy to be here. Great pleasure.
I am. Great pleasure of mine. Can't wait to do it again. And you go. You take the ball and go.
Yeah, that's sort of what that was.
And I'm
Sorta-
looking-
Well, when you ask me how I'm doing, I'm going to give you a stock how I'm doing.
Yeah, but I'm not asking for a stock answer. I'm asking legitimately, how are you personally? You, not like the class, but how are you doing? And if you go, dude, I'm pissed because
No,
your
I'm-
house sucks,
I'm
or
doing
I have
fine.
to look
no,
at
no,
you.
No. Well, that's true, but the fish tacos were good, and that's why I mentioned them.
Yeah, they did actually look pretty good, except for the fish part. I had a good meal too. Lot to get to today. We've got young man Charlie Wohlberg coming by here to talk about a subject near and dear to Jay and I's heart, which is children's books. We've got a little history in that field ourselves.
We do indeed.
And no, Charlie's one of these guys with. If you're in the business of entertaining, a lot of people would know Charlie from a myriad of things he's got his toes dipped into.
Markets a lot, and yeah,
yeah.
He's around town quite a bit.
Yeah, so you may have seen him at seminars. Anyway, interesting guy, and Jay and I know him a little bit, so we have him coming in today to look forward to. And what a smashing day! I don't know if you were ready for this, Jay, but the premiere of Suicide Attack Manchester aired last night.
Yeah, I know.
And,
they had a graphic whipped up pretty quick, and it was
Boy,
on.
oh boy, was it ever!
I was up pretty late last night working on some stuff, and I just had it on in the background, and oh my God, can they rehash some news? Holy shit.
Dude, it's-
over and over. It's an amazing talent. Honestly, I don't know how Shepard Smith sits there
Yeah.
and says the same thing over and over and over.
Well, I feel bad because I watch a lot of that stuff, and it's irritating as shit. Like, to me, if you're doing a show like that, like an hour, you've got an hour. That's it. That's what your show is. And if there's something that breaks in that hour, fine, whatever. But it's just weird to me when every 15 minutes or not even 5 minutes, every 5 minutes, just resetting what we know at this point. And they've got confirmed deaths, which will go down, they'll go up. They're hardly confirmed ever. But just seeing these people, it is an amazing talent to be able to just rehash every 10 minutes the same
like in a
thing.
genuine way, sound genuine about it, seem upset and surprised and excited about the whole thing every
Yeah.
time. You're like, God, you know what
Yeah.
it is? It's just news isn't made to be consumed by hour after hour, like you usually do.
Yeah, yeah.
So people are usually just tuning in and hearing that 5-minute chunk. And
You
boom,
know,
there it is.
You know who's really bad at it?
Who?
Because a lot of these guys can do that. Like, it would drive me as nuts as it would drive you. If I had to sit there and spin the same thing every 5 minutes for an hour or two, I can't do it. Tucker Carlson last night, this story was kind of breaking as he was starting his show. And so it kind of, whenever you got one of these big fucking national or global events that dominate the news cycle, it's kind of drop everything time, and now we go this way. We were going to talk about
He wanted to
You know.
argue with some professor on campus.
Right? And bitch out
Like,
some
damn
student.
it! Manchester blew up.
It's like,
Sorry, Tucker, we're going to have to abort. We're going to abort. You will not be able to ream this liberal asshole for the next half hour.
instead we're going to talk about breaking news in Manchester. He's like, okay. And so watching Tucker try to like deal with some idiot on the phone who was just like at the venue at one point and left.
He
and
wants
how
to
scary
bury
it was.
this guy. He wants to like question him up and down and just cause him to look stupid.
Well, you know how Tucker does this thing. He's very, very well prepared. Well, you can't be very well prepared for something that's breaking. And so his questions are just kind of like, so, did you see a lot of people screaming? It's like, yeah, there were a lot of people screaming and running.
Did they pull the curtain back on Tucker Carlson?
They might have.
like,
Just
is
a little
this guy
bit.
like a 10-hour a day prepper? And everything's just
Yes,
like
probably.
everything's just written down and ready to go. Like if he can't do anything off the cuff.
Well,
It's his kryptonite.
he kind of got better, but there were some pauses that you don't usually hear in his show, and there were some moments where it was like, Tucker, you're just fishing for a question. You can't honestly think you're going to get some special answer when you go, did it seem like people were panicked when the bomb went off?
Yeah.
No, actually, they remained incredibly calm. It was crazy. There's absolutely no screaming or running. They were all single file, just like in grade school when the fake alarm went off, fire alarm. So, yeah, he was sort of exposed in that
Wow.
respect. Whereas, Anderson Cooper can spin that car.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good at just playing with whatever dumb shit's happening in the news. So yeah, what a terrible story out of the Ariana Grande concert. We're not breaking any news here, but I couldn't help but think though,
Yeah, what's next for Ariana Grande?
well, a bigger venue probably.
Yeah,
'cause-
probably. Well, what I heard last night is different than what I'm hearing now, and it suggests what you were suggesting. Last night, it was like they immediately canceled the tour, and Ariana, appropriately came out and I think tweeted like, "My heart is broken. This is devastating."
Yeah,
Something
so
very
sorry.
appropriate. Yeah, and then it's like, okay, how could you go on with a tour? It's ridiculous. You can't go on with this.
Yeah.
Well, now this morning, I'm like, oh, they're kind of looking at what they could do with this tour.
Yeah.
I mean, on some level, management is sitting there behind her going, all right, we got to kind of strike while the iron's hot here. She just became an international superstar last night. If anybody, like it started out the evening with a couple of the news people going, Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande's concert. And by the end, everybody knew Ariana
Grande.
if you
Yeah.
didn't before.
Well, she's one of these that plays to little kids, which is what makes this story so sickening to begin
Former
with.
Disney chick.
Yeah. Hot. When I think of Ariana Grande, I think of Nickelodeon or Disney, whatever her dumb show was on. And I think of, isn't she the one that had the thing with the donut? Where she like licked her finger and put it on a donut or something
I
in
don't
some
know.
little donut shop. E, do you remember that story? Or she spit on a donut?
I thought
and-
she was on like iCarly or something.
Yeah,
Is it-
she was.
Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't know much about her. But if you would have said the name Eagles of Death Metal to me, and I like all those musicians, I didn't know what that was before the Bataclan massacre where 80 people were killed, 90 people were
These
killed.
tragedies can make stars.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shitty way to look at things, but this is the way our world works right now. And for Ariana Grande, all I was interested in is, okay, what were her album sales for the week at 6 o'clock, a half hour before this happened local time in Manchester? And then what are they for the rest of the week?
Yeah, and if not album sales, like that would have skyrocketed had she died. But I think
Yeah.
at least YouTube hits, people will be searching, who the hell is this chick?
Yeah.
And so her YouTube hits are going to go through the roof.
I would think that there are Apple Music or things like that would go up too, no?
Yeah, probably.
So anyway, it was a fine young gentleman named Salman Abedi, 22-year-old, who
Oh, I
decided
thought it was going to turn out like Joe Johnson or
Yeah.
something like that. No,
No.
Salman Abedi.
Salman Abedi. Yeah, yeah. Shocking, isn't it?
Yes.
I was thinking Bill Johnson, Tony Stevens,
Carl, maybe a Carl.
Carl Johnston, Carl Johnston. But no, it's shocking that it's Salman Abedi. I wonder if he yelled the famous
Yeah, Akbar. I'm sure he did. That's like part of the deal, right?
Yeah. So yeah, this son of a bitch waited till, thank you, good night moment as they're dropping the pink balloons into the audience, and everyone's crowding out of the theater, out of the arena
Venue. Yep.
venue. Thank you, the arena there, and it's like, and then you're gonna fucking Allah Akbar and detonate, dude. You're talking about 8-year-olds.
An 8-year-old little sweet pie.
Yeah, I mean, seeing those
Smithereens,
pictures,
man.
seeing those pictures on the screen, it was like, you've got to be Like, how fucked up are you? And I heard one expert talking about, because all the talking heads just want to go, this is just monstrous behavior. How could anyone look at a little child like that in the face? And it's just disgusting. What an outrage. These savages. And I heard someone say finally, like, look, you need to you guys don't understand what's going on here. Like, what you're truly facing with these people. These people do not look at your kids as kids. They look at them as weapons. They look at these kids as infidels, period. They're infidels. It doesn't matter how old they are. If it causes you more pain, then fuck it. We target them.
Beautiful.
Because they're going to grow up to be older infidels and birth more infidels. If we can kill them when they're that young.
They're on the right track going to Ariana Grande concerts.
Yes.
I'll tell you that much, Mike.
Yes, they are. The other thing about this story that freaked me out, and maybe it was just me, I actually tweeted about it at one point last night, but seeing...
Sorry I missed your tweet.
Yeah, I
I'll
almost
have to
did
go back and look.
I almost did a RTMYSOB, which is
Retweet me, you son of a bitch.
our acronym for that. But I didn't. It was kind of late. So, but I was shocked that usually when you see these unfolding stories, right, you see the breaking news start coming across, and then it's like they are on that scene faster than police are, the media. And you see they can't wait to film smoke, and they can't wait to show a crumbling whatever on the building.
Limping victims, bleeding victims.
Yes, they love the blood streaks on the ground. They love
A sheet in the foreground.
Oh, a sheet. If you can get a covered something on a sheet, or the lifting of a stretcher until it pops on the wheels.
Yeah.
Like, they love those. That's your payday right there. That's the money shot. I watched for 3 hours, and I never saw a single frame of smoke, explosion. The best they could do, and if you were watching it, Jay, you saw it, I guess there was a cop sitting in his car, like, I don't know, a few
Dash cam,
hundreds of yards from the venue, and in the background you could hear this. You could see this faint, like, orange glitter thing. You'd have to really be looking for it to even see it, and then you heard just a faint, and then finally he's like, "No!"
Right.
and like whips his car in reverse. I'm sure you saw that video, right?
I was listening, but yeah, I was not watching.
But dude, I couldn't, and maybe it's changed at this point. Maybe they do have a lot of on the floor video of that, but there was none. I couldn't believe it. It was like there's always video of that.
Yeah, English news. What's up, man?
Yeah.
What's
I
up,
don't-
Daily Mail? Get over there. Film something.
I just wouldn't figure they could rope it off and get media away. Like, that's not your first fear, and your first thought is like, oh, make sure the media's out of the way.
Get the YouTube van out there.
Yeah.
No YouTube correspondents on site? It's
I
weird.
didn't see any. The bomb, they say, went off when mothers and fathers were leaving the venue with their children. Other parents were arriving to pick up. You can picture this scene, man.
It's a great move if you're the terrorist, though. You know, you can't get in the venue with this thing because you're going to
Yeah.
get stopped at a metal detector or otherwise. Just wait for the cattle to come out,
Yeah.
and there you go.
I heard one guy being interviewed, might have been the one I was talking about with Tucker. So this guy, he's in his 30s, this gay guy. He was there with his partner, Ariana Grande.
Just wants to dance like this. Just wants to dance.
It's like, oh, me and my partner were surrounded by, I don't know, 6 to 15-year-old girls. It's like, I just picture him and his boyfriend just dancing their asses off with all these little kids. He's like, every row for 20 seats around me was just all little girls. Like, wow, this is weird. But I forgot what I was going to say, what the point to him was. But, oh, you know what it was? He said, so Tucker asked him, like, how was security going in? Is it one of those where, you know, they've got barricades in front so a truck can't roll through the building? Or
checking purses, metal
Yes.
detector. Sounded like it was, right?
he said not at all.
Really?
He said,
I heard otherwise.
I did from other people too. I heard girls saying, "Oh yeah, they looked at my purse." He claimed they don't even have metal detectors in those venues.
Well, it's sort of irrelevant because the guy did it outside the venue.
I know, but my point is, he could have. It sounds like he could have, by all accounts, walked in, and anybody could walk. If you pulled into the Palace, dude.
Maybe he didn't have a ticket.
Yeah, but you could walk into that foyer. You know that place at the
Foyer.
Palace.
I do know the foyer.
You could walk in there without a ticket. That's why I'm here, is to buy a ticket from over there. So
Yeah.
excuse me, sir, I'm going past you.
And it begs the question, should we be moving these points back further?
Yeah.
You know, sort of like everybody used to be able to go to the gate at the airport and wait with loved ones as they departed.
Yep.
Now we're obviously farther back.
Way back. It's a pain in the
Way
ass
back.
if you
It
have
is.
to return something or run to the car really quick.
So does that happen with concert venues and sporting events and all that? Like everybody
they,
can't approach?
Didn't they do that with the Super Bowl here in Detroit? I thought they did something like that where they set up special barricades.
Maybe you
where
guys were down there, right?
I was, but I didn't go to the game. I thought it was something where once you got inside, like, the grounds of the game, like, you got in past security, and that was it, dude. Nobody was getting in within 50 yards of that building
Makes sense.
without being checked way in advance. And I thought they put up all kinds of cement barricades,
Yeah.
too, so that you couldn't just take a lorry or something and run it through the place.
A lorry.
A lorry.
You've been reading too many British press releases.
Well, all these stories are out of a lot of these terrorist things are out of Europe,
Yeah.
and so they all, whenever you're reading about them,
lorry.
he's hijacked a lorry, an 18-wheeler. Yes, a lorry. Ran it into the crowd. And lastly, on these people talking about the children and just running, and you can imagine that scene. One witness said he saw a young girl screaming, "I don't know where my sister is." Another man talked about how he cradled a dying woman and saw a girl with her legs blown off. Now, I don't know if she didn't have legs to begin with. I mean, that's the only question.
That's a
I have
great
for
point.
him.
They might be jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, we're not saying that the bomb took her legs off, but that's the way he makes it sound. I'm not one to question him. Yeah, and then another person was talking about, like, once the explosion went off, just faces melting, like skin just melting off people as they're walking by.
Like opening the Ark in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Exactly.
Wow.
I know, it's grim, man. Chris Parker, 33, who was at the show. It was a bit strange for him to be in an Ariana Grande show.
Would you go to one of these shows? You would, right?
Go see Ariana Grande.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Who's the other one that we were talking about earlier, though, Jay?
Tiffany.
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez, even more so, I would go see.
Yeah.
Yeah, Selena's pretty hot.
But it's funny because I was talking to Jay. I know this is off the subject, but I was talking to Jay about how some of these Ariana Grande and like Selena Gomez have kept it going. And I just asked him, haven't you noticed that like Miley Cyrus has kind of been
Miley's
out of it?
between albums.
I
Don't
get
diss on
that,
Miley.
but-
She's between
Yeah.
albums.
But my point was definitely is that I think they actually have some talent, at least singing talent. Maybe not. I'm not saying it's amazing, the best, but there's talent there. Whereas in Miley was just in the end was just doing her whole shock value thing.
She came in like a
And-
wrecking ball.
Right, and then yes, that is God. Good. I wish we had a.
Came in like a wrecking ball.
I didn't hate that song.
Woody,
I
you
didn't
like that
hate
song?
I didn't hate that song.
Dude, I have 2 Miley Cyrus albums
Party
upstairs.
in the
I'm
USA.
not even kidding.
Party in the USA.
I was telling E, I saw some blurb yesterday or the day before. She's claiming that Katy Perry's "I Kissed a Girl" is about her. Is that true, Mike?
Katy Perry, when that song came out, wouldn't she have been?
I don't know, Mike. I don't
Wouldn't
know.
Miley
I don't-
Cyrus have been like a? It would have been
14 or 15?
a pedophilic song.
It could have been. I'm just saying.
If Katy Perry made out with a young Miley Cyrus,
Well, are there appropriate hashtags started and so forth where we can show our support
Well,
for the Britons?
yeah,
I've changed all my social media, little pictures to the Union Jack.
okay, good.
So I'm
That's a
doing
good
my
start.
part,
Yeah.
and I've expressed my deepest sympathies. Is there anything more I can do?
Wait, did you mention thoughts and or prayers?
Oh, shit. I knew I missed something.
Did you use hashtag Manchester?
I didn't.
Hashtag Ariana Grande? Did you at Ariana Grande to know that you were thinking about
I
her?
need to do that because I know she's really cut up today.
What's the matter with you? Jay, you know this stuff. You're the one that's guilty of over hashtagging or adding.
I was up
from time
late,
to
dude.
time.
I was up late.
Let's see how I did it. I'll tell you how I did it. I'm not saying you need to steal it, but
Yeah, dude, she would have been. I Kissed the Girl came out in 2008, and Miley Cyrus was born in '92. So that means.
How old is she?
Well,
how
Eric
old
tells
was-
her out. The problem is I'm looking at Wikipedia.
Okay.
No,
do the math. How much? How old was she in 2008?
16, depending
Okay.
on when it happened.
So how old was Katie at the time?
Oh, that's
Is it
a-
so inappropriate for Katie to, if she's 18 or 19, to make out with a
See.
16-year-old?
no, she would have been older than that.
Really?
Yeah.
She's way older?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
She like in her, easily in
Wait.
her 30s?
When did that song come out?
I Kissed the Girl.
2008?
2008.
Dude, I don't.
Released 2008.
And she liked it.
I know.
So
I
we're
know.
told.
Well, Katy Perry was born in my age, so that means
She was born on E's age.
no,
So
but
she's
that means
48?
That means she's 8 years older than Miley
Years her
Cyrus. So that
senior.
means
so
she
she was 24 making out with a 16-year-old. This is scandalous, gentlemen. This is the real story
I don't know if
here.
I buy
What's
this.
everybody talking about Manchester for? This is the story.
Well, here's what you should have done, Jay, like I did. And anyone that's
How do
following
you
my
spell
Twitter, at Walters Radio, WOL, Walters Radio, would have been privy to this. Anyone else surprised we haven't seen any video of the area where explosions went off at Ariana Grande show in #Manchester? Seems very odd.
So what are you, some conspiracy guy? What are you after?
Yes, I kind of was. No, I didn't doubt that there was an explosion, but
But how
I'm
many
like,
people are filming as they come out of a concert, right? If it happened inside, you saw plenty inside the venue where people are like, their attention is drawn to the side where the explosion happened.
Right.
And you'd expect that people filming in portrait of their favorite pop star Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
But how many people are filming themselves walk outside of a venue?
Well, if you're suggesting that I'm suggesting that a guy that just got, or 8-year-old that just got her legs blown off, her first thought is,
Or
oh
her
my God.
prosthetics, we don't know.
Right, but I
could have
would
been legless.
I would forgive her for not going, "Where's my phone? I gotta tweet this shit," and like reaching into what was her back pocket filled with a buttocks that's now been blown off. If she grabbed her phone, I wouldn't expect that. But what I would expect was the people that already made it out to go, "What the fuck?
World Star!
World Star!" And they're just seeing what looks like a war movie unfold in front of them. How do those people not at least pull their fucking phone out and just start filming
I think
it?
you'll probably see those
You can have it
today.
both ways, Mike. You sit here and make fun of the people that do this.
No,
Now
he's
you're-
making an observation. He's
Dude,
not saying
yeah.
it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
He's saying
Exactly.
it
Okay.
probably should have happened, and I suspect we'll see those today.
Yeah,
I just think last night it wasn't hitting the media.
Yeah. Well, usually people will find anybody they can on the ground, find anybody that was
Yeah.
there, and then they'll immediately ask them, "What video do you have? Do you have any video? Do you know anyone that has any video?" And people will go, "Yeah." And that's why you'll see in the corner of those when they're showing amateur video, it's like at J Detroit Cast.
Because
like
they're
they're
like, look, the
crediting
only
you.
thing I want is
Yeah, they're
I want my
crediting.
Twitter likes to go up. So
So they're giving you that credit that you need for them in order for them. You've signed off essentially, and so no matter who it is, they give you that. I mean, a lot of times, Jukin Media or Junkin Media or whatever will buy that from the grandma that got shit thrown in her face by the monkey. They'll
Yeah.
buy that thing, and then instead of having grandma at the zoo, at grandma at the zoo, it'll be just Junkin Media because they
Interesting.
bought the rights to it. And so that's why I'm surprised, because the media is shameless. They'll air those videos, and people want their videos getting out there. So
Yeah.
those two things, I'm not saying is right or wrong, but I just thought we would have seen it way faster than we are. That's my whole point.
well, maybe they're a little bit behind us on that. If it happens here in Pittsburgh or Cleveland or Chicago or whatever, that's what happens. But in Manchester, maybe they're a couple years behind on that. They'll
Maybe.
get there, Mike. They'll get there.
I did notice they were like, for a lot of Tucker, he kept going, "Well, let's go live to our family out there at Sky News," and they just cut into the broadcast wherever it was. They'd be
Yeah.
in the middle of an interview with someone, and Sky News was going, "Yeah, well, apparently the Americans have beat us to this. Their media is confirming that 22 are dead. We've still only got 19, but they've got all kinds of sources around here and connections. So
Yeah,
the
we-
LA Times,
Yep.
the New
We
York Times."
confirmed it was a suicide bomber right
Yeah.
off the bat, whereas they were reluctant to do that. Maybe
Slow
they
to
have
the
different
draw.
standards.
They probably do. I don't know what their standards are, though. But I would work on your thoughts and prayers for today.
I
It's the
will.
best thing you
I'll
can
get-
do.
I'll
I'm
get
glad
that
you've got
straight.
the Union Jack going now, Jay. That's important.
Hey, insurance, we all need it, and most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have. I bet a lot of those people wish they had a lot more life insurance. Right?
Yeah.
Or who provides
Kids,
it?
kids don't get life insurance.
You can put life insurance policies on your kids.
It'd be too tempting to kill them.
It really would.
Yeah. If
It
I
really
knew,
would.
like, this guy is being a fucking dick and he's worth $2 million, that might be enough for me to kill my own kid.
I don't have that much on them, but I do have some on all my kids.
Really?
Enough to bury them. You know? I mean, you don't want that to be like a life-changing event. Like, oh, shit, our finances are askew now
Yeah, great point.
because Manny died.
Manny couldn't hang on a little longer,
Right.
and now we're saddled with his burial.
I'm using
Fuck.
Manny as an example. It could be
Sure.
Russell. It could be Sweet Pie.
Sure.
Nothing against Manny.
Sure.
Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasick from Wasick Insurance Services change all that shit if you don't have enough insurance. Brent has over 29 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverage: auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasick at 734-455-1900. Get a free no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900. Ask for Brent Wasick at Wasick Insurance. A hell of a lot of people in Manchester wish they would have 2 days ago.
Is life insurance any different at all than death insurance? Is that basically the same thing?
Death insurance?
Yeah, like if your kid dies and you want to,
I was looking at this. I'm like, did I say death insurance?
No, you didn't.
It's life insurance.
Well, I need to get lined up with Brent on some death insurance now. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Can you insure pets?
Probably. There's like Lloyd's of London, that company that'll insure people's
Yeah.
knees and stuff. I think there's insurers that'll kind of go out on a limb and do different things like that.
You think we could get Monster healthy again and then just put a shitload of insurance on her?
No.
No,
No, you
that
don't
thing
think
is
so?
that thing's ready for a burlap sack. I'm sorry. I know
Yeah.
that's harsh,
I know.
but it's ready.
But, dude, how cool would it be that, when the inevitable day comes, we get a fat paycheck out of it?
We would. Okay, let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah, we would.
Not you, E.
Just me and Mike.
Just Jay and I, for Christ's sakes.
Weasel yourself into this
Yeah,
deal.
Get out of our money, E. We're in mourning.
I'm nicer to that cat than Jay is.
True, but I don't like you as much as I like Jay. You see where the problem is with that?
Get it, E? You got
I
it?
see the issue.
And you don't need the money anyways. Jay does.
Yeah, you're right.
Were you going to do a read, or did you want me to?
I was thinking we hadn't heard E's voice enough. I was going to pass that over, but now I'm having second thoughts.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. You should
I'm
say
kind of
with
thinking
that
about
thought.
the listeners now, thinking about, their well-being.
Let Mike do it.
Yeah, maybe Mike should do this one. You're right.
You want
E.
me to? I feel like I just talked a lot, though.
Well, give it to E then. E, do it. Let's go. Hamlin Pubs. Sell it, baby.
Maybe put the 30-second clock on him. See if he can stumble through this in 30 seconds.
This is a 15-second read. Let's see if E can do it in 30.
Damn it.
So far, not so good.
Can we restart it?
No.
Give me a restart.
No, go.
The Hamlin Pub supports the Detroit Cast, so let's make it a point to support them with locations in Rochester Hills, Clarkston, Chesterfield, 2 in Shelby Township. There's one near you. The Hamlin Pub has great food, ice cold drinks, tons of craft beers, plasma TV, great entertainment. Come on by and book your reservation today at hamlinpubs.com.
Wow.
Told you had time there, E.
Plasma TV.
Plasma TVs. Who doesn't love a good plasma TV?
Say nuclear, E.
Nuclear?
Okay.
I know how to say nuclear.
Plasma.
Plasma?
Where does that come from, dude? Plasma TV.
I don't know.
There's another guy that got himself in trouble. You can do this if you tweet something too soon. If you pull it too soon.
What do you do?
Today's not a solid day to do the Ariana Grande jokes, unless you're just going to take some shit. Well, this guy, a Boston journalist, has been slammed for a vile joke about a terrorist attack, which at the time had killed 22 people. It's since gone up now to what? What are we at, 29?
I thought it was 22. I
Or
thought
22.
It was 19 last night.
19. You're right. Sorry. At 7 o'clock, first reports of the atrocity emerged, and Boston-based journalist David Leavitt couldn't leave it.
Did he play off the word grande?
Good call. He did.
I saw this.
Not in his initial tweet, but in his follow-up
See, that's
tweet.
low-hanging fruit, I would say.
Yeah, I would have left that off too.
A
He-
grande finale to her
No,
concert.
it was even douchier. His initial tweet, which is causing the most problems, was multiple confirmed fatalities at Manchester Arena. The last time I listened to Ariana Grande, I almost died too.
Oh, I thought this was a different one.
Oh,
well, maybe you should
man.
listen to the story, and then you'd know exactly
'Cause
which one it
I
was.
think the other one. There's another one I was thinking. Maybe not from him, but one I saw that was funny.
His follow-up to that gem of a joke was, honestly, for over a year, I thought Ariana Grande was something you ordered at Starbucks.
That was the one I thought.
Why is that so offensive, though?
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
not.
an observation that she's in the news.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't say anything other than her thoughts and prayers, deepest sympathies.
Yeah, right. Apparently you can't. I think it's probably more troublesome. Multiple confirmed fatalities at Manchester Arena, and then to follow that with a joke is maybe more inappropriate.
I would say so, yes.
You know what I mean? Which is what he did.
Oh, I
And
thought he just did the grande joke, the Starbucks.
no, his first tweet was multiple confirmed fatalities
Right.
at Manchester Arena. Last time I
But
heard her.
a wholly separate tweet was about the grande and Starbucks.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with that one.
Well, it was on the heels of the
I
other,
understand.
so an hour and 45 minutes, and then people were like, "Oh my God, you're like a vile scumbag or something." Oh my God, how dare you? You should switch your icon to the Union Jack and send thoughts and prayers. Stop being a vile scumbag, Mom. And so he just responded to that too soon, and he actually spelled "two" correctly, which I lost respect
Oh, okay.
for.
Okay.
He didn't do too soon. He did TOO soon.
Yeah.
An hour and 45 minutes after his first tweet, he apologized. Hours after that, he deleted the tweet.
Who's this dude?
He's a journalist in
Okay.
Boston, freelance guy. So it's not like
Yeah.
you're going to do a lot to
not
fire
like
him. But
It's not like a Brett Buffington.
no. Brett Buffington knows better.
Yeah. He keeps it vanilla.
Yeah. So anyways, so then he deletes his tweet, and then because, quote, since so many asked, as if removing that tweet's going to save anybody. And then he finally wrote, yeah, I'm sorry for offending. Didn't realize the magnitude of the tragedy. I always make stupid jokes about whatever's trending. Condolences to families.
I always make stupid
I
jokes.
can't help it. I'm sorry. I'm a real heel today.
Condolences to the families.
CBS publicly distanced itself from it because people are like, where does he work? Let's ruin
Yeah.
his life.
Right.
And so now
Heads must roll.
he's done some like freelance, like, hey, there's a Metro guide to Boston,
Right.
And so CBS, people are attacking CBS then, and they're like, let's clear up this fact. They've distanced themselves from him. They were quick to clear up the fact that despite his claims, he does not work for the company. David Leavitt is not a WBZ employee. His abhorrent comments in no way represent the views of our station's management or its company. I'd be very clear about that. So people are like, where else does he work? AXX.
Does he have a wife?
He's a
Should we get
freelancer,
divorced?
man. He submitted shit to everybody all over town.
This is another outlet which he's claimed to have worked for. So he put out the, the best beaches in Boston guide to AXS. And so they've had to come out and say, these comments,
No way!
these are despicable on a level we've never seen before.
It's so ridiculous.
This person is not employed by AXS. We don't endorse this despicable comment.
Can you imagine? People wanted to get him fired. I mean, I get it. It's dumb. It's why do it? But like the real, to
Move
wanna
on.
fire somebody.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad
I mean, let's see, does he have a
us
wife
three
and
didn't
kids?
joke about that at all, that tragedy
Yeah.
today. I'm glad we handled it appropriately.
What would we do if like, because you never know until you get into that world. Like, you never know what's going to spark. Like, we've said some horrible shit on Twitter. Fair?
Fair enough, yes.
I know I have. Been very disrespectful to people. And you never know which one is going to spark and then, like, just a little, and there's a tiny little flame there. And it's like, what? It's set to Black Lives Matter. Look what this asshole
Yeah.
said. And then it's like,
They're fucking killed.
the storm hits. How long do you think we hold out before it's like, I'm sorry about that. I say dumb comments from time to time, and
Black lives do indeed matter.
all lives matter. Wait, no, I
didn't mean that. Whoa. Blue lives matter. No, right.
Blue lives matter too. I mean, well,
No, forget it. Only black lives matter. You're right.
next thing you know, I'm out there, with a fucking sign.
Placard.
Yeah, I've got my placard sign about cops
Sandwich
killing
board.
people.
I see you more as a sandwich board guy.
Yeah, but the problem is the board wouldn't lay flat on the front and back like it's supposed to. Maybe it would lay flat on the back, but the front would be like a bib. You know what I
A
mean?
ramp.
A ramp with my head as the launch point. So I'm just going to end up going with one of those, all white police officers are fucking devils signs, just like walking down Main Street.
Do you think there's another step at one point? Are people going to start passing on to like their wives and or girlfriends, or
Their wives and their
like is like he's
confused
married?
by that.
What are you? I don't know what's going on. Oh,
Talking to your microphone. E.
I am into my microphone.
Now I got you.
I was
Now I
like-
got you. You could just say it. You could just yell it out.
No,
I didn't even
I'd
know it was
rather that to happen. I'd rather that minute long. What? What are you? What? Huh? You? What are you? What are you doing? I'd
Well, so you'd rather embarrass
I'd
us.
rather go like this.
Sure.
Have it not work, and then you go, oh, okay, you gotta turn
Oh,
it up.
Sorry.
Without the okay audibly.
I had a meeting and a meal earlier, and I'm still a little tired.
Meeting? I said a meal.
I said both. Let me challenge you to another bare knuckle, sir. What were you going to say, E?
I'm just saying. I wonder if there'll be a
Stupidly.
point where there'll be a point if there'll come a time where people beyond even getting fired, if they'll reach out to their families. And how could you be married to a man who would
not?
make a
Why
comment
not?
like this?
Yeah.
I mean, just let's make sure. I mean, I don't know why these people should be going to jail. I
No,
guess.
because these people don't get the reaction from private citizens. They get the reaction from
Right.
corporate America.
Yeah.
Bending over.
Well, no, but I mean, you could just keep going further and
I
further.
reckon. Hey, got to tell you about the Hamlin Pub. They have 5 locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and 2 in Shelby Township. Hamlin Pub offers a wide selection of craft beers, most of which are brewed right here in Michigan. They have great happy hour specials Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m., and half-off appetizers on Monday. So check out all their specials at all 5 locations. Check out hamlinpubs.com.
You ready to talk to Charlie Wahlberg?
Sure.
Sure. Neat guy. Advertising exec, and now he's dipped his toe into the children's book.
The seedy underbelly of children's authorship.
Yes. I want him to do a Detroit Cast book or something.
That'd be cool.
You know what I mean? Well, it's Mocha Boca. MochaBoca.com is where you can find it. Give us 1 second. We'll bring Charlie right in. All right. Welcome in studio, Charlie Wahlberg.
And before we get started, Charlie, do you want us to call you Charles or Chuck?
Chuck, Charles, anything. Name it.
Fuck yourself.
Sir Charles? Charlie?
Hey, what's up, Chuck? Never heard that before.
Yeah.
Well, don't call
Sorry, Charlie.
Charlie LaDuff. Will get really fucking pissed if you call him Chuck. Because I've done that before. Hey, Chuck, what's going on? No. Won't have it. So you're a Charlie guy?
My dad was Chuck growing up. So
Get into that mic. You are part of Curve Detroit, one of the owners, founders. And we can get into what that is. But one thing I was looking at, we don't need to. Okay, is that boring stuff?
It's a marketing firm. It's a, so we do great.
So it is
work and-
boring.
It's one of the top marketing firms in Detroit, Chuck.
Yeah.
Charlie.
What I was thinking of though, before we even get into that, going by your last name, you realize if we went to school together, you and I would have been friends because we would have been like directly next to each other in every photo ever taken for a yearbook. We probably would have been seated next to each other in all classes.
Mike would have directly copied off you many times
Yeah.
because not only would you be seated next to each other, but you would have stepped up and done your presentation just before. And
There-
Mike would have been like, oh, that's a great idea.
Oh yeah, Chuck, what'd you get for that one? Because both of our last names start WOL, which is rare to find.
And now he's calling me Chuck again. Look
Yeah,
at that.
sorry about that. No,
See,
I
we
was
probably
going back
wouldn't
to
be
grade
friends. I'd just be
school.
nudging him the whole time.
No, I was
Michael.
interested in Curve Detroit because you're known as the chief troublemaker.
It's good work if you can get it.
Yeah. What does that mean? I notice other people have referenced you as the chief troublemaker as well.
I used to work for big automotive agencies, and everything I would pitch to the agencies are like, "It's a great idea." No,
Yeah.
So I've always kind of been that heretic of, that's the way we've always done it. No, what if we did this? So
Wasn't
I
that the
like
point, though, to
crazy
get
ideas.
creative and kind of out there and change it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were a troublemaker. I'm assuming that cost you some jobs?
I've been thrown out of just about every big agency in town. That's why I had to start Curve, because it's like,
Yeah.
there's no one left to hire me. Oh no.
Well, I know your wife is a part of that, too, and works on the board, I believe, with you. Dude, that's got to be tough to work with your wife every day and live with them.
I like it because I would much rather talk about work than our relationship. So it's like,
Yeah.
you can just redirect to, let's talk about work again.
Well, you're here today because of a book, totally different subject matter, that you guys have put out, a kid's book. And why don't you describe how you got started with that?
So our good friend Paul Chambers runs a company called Gentleman's Box. It's one of those subscription boxes where every month they send you cool stuff. So in his box, it's ties and socks and tie clips and wallets and whatever you need to be a gentleman. I, of course,
T-shirt.
not so much the gentleman.
Yeah, I love it.
But I've always wanted to do these kid books. I've got 2 little kids, and every night at bedtime stories, you read them books, and tell me another one. So we'd make up stories. And so we kind of put the peanut butter and chocolate, if we could get to the bottom of the peanut butter container, and said, what if we did a subscription
Need a
box
square knife.
for kids? And so it was just about 1 year ago today, we went to lunch. We talked about this idea, and then we were both up all night like, oh, we could do this, we could do this.
Yeah.
You can do action figures and toys and T-shirts
Yes,
and all these
action
different
figures.
things
What?
that you can do. But it starts with the book, and then we'll do movies and toys and all the merchandise rights there. But
And it's called Mocha Boca, right?
Mocha Boca sounds like fun.
It does. Where does that come from? It just sounded fun? It sounded cool?
We wanted a short domain name. We wanted something that rhymed. My son in school was learning about hink pinks, which are 2 words that answer a question that rhyme. So Mocha Boca was something all kids could say.
Wait, hink
It's
pink?
like
A hink pink, yep.
That's called a hink pink when
Yep.
2 words rhyme together? Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't know that.
Well, does that? It's like make a book, right?
It actually it's,
Mocha Boca.
It
That's what I
actually
think when I hear it.
Well, good. Then that's exactly what it
Kind of like a
means.
little kid way of saying make a book.
Mocha Boca.
Huh.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's-
MOKABOKA.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a customizable book. It's a great idea.
But you know, so we kind of go on the cocktail party theory that you can be in a crowded room talking to someone, but if someone else says your name, squirrel, you immediately turn and you're always tuned in your name. The first word that a kid could read is their name. So they may like a book, but a book about them, wow, you have their attention. then.
Did you hear the recent report that Trump is having a hard time getting through intelligence reports? So the agencies are putting his name in there, like every paragraph. It goes to exactly what you just said.
Have you taken a look at The Onion has published the Trump security briefings?
No, I've not.
And
Oh,
it's
no.
it's wonderful. It is a child's placemat from a restaurant. Like draw, color your allies, draw Kim Jong Il.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
It's so funny,
frightening.
but you see that everywhere. I notice I've got a couple nephews and a niece now, and Beth, my girlfriend, has a couple nephews as well, and you see it with them. Like if they're involved in it,
Right.
I noticed it a couple years ago when they were 3 and 2 or something, 3 and 1, and anytime you'd film them, like everybody gets the phone out and starts videoing them at Christmas opening presents, they immediately want to watch the video.
yeah.
They want to review it. They can barely
Selfish
speak.
bastards.
Yeah, yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that a kid would be like, "Oh, my name's in this book. Awesome."
But beyond that, so it's not just the name, because there's a lot of places that customize your name in a book. We actually wanted to put their face in. So besides name and relationship with the two people, so you can have friends, cousins, brothers, sisters, you can customize the skin tone, the hairstyle, the hair color, their favorite color. So the shirts change, the hairstyles change. So,
Yeah.
I don't think kids have enough opportunity to see themselves as the hero. So one of the really cool things happens in book 2 when another character shows up. She's a warrior princess, Waizika warrior princess. She comes in to help the kids battle the bad guys. The look of her skin and hair color matches whatever the first child's skin and hair color is. So they're seeing themselves as the heroes too.
And so it's a book series then.
Yes.
You're going on the website and you're plugging in what my child's name is, obviously what they look like, their hairstyle, their skin color and everything. And then you receive one book a month or something like that
Right.
for a process of how many?
We grew up with Batman, the old TV show.
Sure.
Will Mike make it out of the turnip twaddler? Tune in the same bat time, same bat channel.
Sure.
So the last page of every book is basically these Batman questions,
Ah, the
So book
cliffhanger.
1 ends, What's behind the door? Who's Fritz Pinkle Stinkle McWrinkle? Why is he breaking all the toys? Tune in next time as Donovan and Chloe's adventure continue in Mocha Boca Book 2, The Pickle Panic.
And then when does
boy.
book 2 come?
The next month. So
So
whoever
you're
starts
dying.
now-
You're like dying for a month.
Yeah.
That's okay. Torture kids. It's
Well,
it's
the other cool thing. So this was an innovation from my 5-year-old came up with. We were we had written a few books and we were working on the paper samples. Like, what do we want this to print on? So our printer did up all these blank books for us to kind of check out the paper styles. So Paul and I are arguing about do we want this field? Do we want this field? And my son and his daughter grabbed the blank samples and their crayons and just started coloring on them. And we were like,
Yeah, they're ruining the
those are-
sample.
that's for work. And then kind of the light bulb went out like, wow, we'll tell you a story. Now you tell us one. And
Okay.
My kids love the stories. I think they're actually more excited about the blank book that they get to go and make one themselves.
So I've got one of these books from my childhood, and I still own it today. And I wanted you to
It's
take
got
a
your
look
name
at it.
on it. You can't throw that out.
I was gonna. I don't know if you've ever heard of Me and the Star World Visitors, but I was a part of this book, and like I said, it meant so much to me. I was probably 5 when I got this, or 6, and I still have it today. And I'm mentioned throughout. There's my address on this envelope with my actual address, and it was from my.
Doesn't look very used, Mike. Did you read as a child? Or?
I took good
Mint
care
condition.
of it. Yeah. Just because your cheap ass family would have just like whited out my name everywhere and wrote yours
Right.
over it.
It's true.
My grandma got me this though. This book was written especially for Mike Walters, with love from Grandpa and Grandma.
My gosh.
And-
that's
So
Yeah.
just it inserted your name, basically?
It's more than that,
Yeah?
dude. There's some alien that flies in, and apparently I'm the only one smart enough to notice it's an alien. Everyone else thought it was lazy, but they included like my neighborhood friends.
Wow.
In there, it was like Greg is mentioned, my brother,
Uh-huh.
and then Tony, who would have been Tony Karam, who lived across the street, and Paul, who lived down the street as well.
Where you're just like, holy cow.
Oh my God!
is
How
really
do they?
nice.
How do they know this about me?
Yeah.
How do they know that?
So, Charlie, how does it feel to know that you're 40 years late on an idea?
I've got a robot and a rabbit and a balloon. It's all my same stuff.
And my picture's not in there or anything like that, but yours feels
this is
more detailed.
You can't throw this out. I mean,
No.
it becomes an heirloom. So
Yeah.
one of the things we do on the inside cover, we do a dedication photo, so you get to upload your photo. Mom and Dad can write a note, or Grandma and Grandpa can write a note.
Yeah.
And it becomes a keepsake. It's
And
it's a
you
snapshot, a moment in time.
Now, if we wanted, I'm assuming the stories are the same for each kid. Like, you're not writing a new story every day for each individual kid. That would be.
And by the way, are you
ridiculous.
writing them? You
Yes,
and your partner wrote them?
so
Did you
I-
illustrate them too?
No, a great illustrator here in Royal Oak, Dan Lawless.
Have you
who has
under-
done some book for Marvel? Is an
Really?
illustrator.
Really?
Have you ever wondered why the hell illustrators don't just write their own books more? It's like, why are we cutting up this pie? Why doesn't Dan turn around? I'm not saying Dan should steal
Dan,
your idea.
turn off
but
this podcast
Why?
now.
Why
Dan,
isn't Dan?
turn off the
I'll-
radio.
I'll
Just
tell
write
you
his whole
why.
book series.
It's the same reason Elton John doesn't write his lyrics. He can tickle the ivories. He can play the 88s real good, but he's not so good at writing shit. So he needs someone that can write.
Okay.
Yeah, you need a good writer.
All right.
I'd like to think the story's imaginative.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. Just thumbing through Mike's shit book, yours is like 100 times better. So in the 40 years, you did definitely improve the product.
Dude, why are you declaring that a shit book?
I don't know, Mike.
That thing has moved with me like 20 times.
This looks very unpersonal, honestly. I mean, it might have your name in it, but
Now, could we get you? How much trouble would it be to get you to make a Detroit Cast book? And maybe we
don't
can,
have beards. Beards are the hardest thing for us
I
to
can
do on
shave.
kids.
I can shave.
All right.
Yeah, this is just a bad attempt at a fat roll cover up. That's all that is.
he's changing the subject.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing.
I'm changing the subject. That's all that's doing. But I'd remove it as long as you can make me a little thinner. There's no reason you have to make me fat in the book.
It's a book. It's not a magic book.
So could you do a Detroit Cast
Yes,
one? Like
absolutely.
how? Like, could we make an adult version of a Detroit Cast one?
Yeah, that's big right now. Now go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah.
that's a bestseller. Have you thought about going darker? Honestly,
He's got kids now. He's worried about. Maybe in a few years he can. He can
Well,
go
so
darker.
in as we were coming here today, we did a mock-up of a cover with Mike and Jay on it.
see
But then
that.
we were
They look
thinking,
good.
well, what about Eric? So the idea we did, hey guys, wait for me, is another. It's an Eric adventure, and it's basically
Biggie's all alone
all
on
of
the cover.
All of the story takes place 5 minutes after the other story, so everything's
awesome.
just broken and there's no people.
And he's
but
just
Eric's
coming
wandering
upon the
around.
scene. Gross.
Dude, here's what I'm thinking though. We could, if you guys came up with something, and we helped you with the storyline. We could sell this thing in like our store. We'll just split the profits with you or something. We could have a book reading and signing at a bar somewhere.
So what
where
it-
we could sell the books, you could sign them.
So instead of the toy factory, Mike and Jay are trapped in a beer bottling facility.
Sure.
Yes.
Up-
He's flown off to San Francisco for something.
He's
We'll
trying
learn
to get a
about his
hooker.
adventure later. Yeah, him getting hookers,
He's
him
trying to
going
buy a hooker with a flat screen.
going to male jack off clubs. Like we're
Eric and the San Francisco Jacks.
Yes.
I think that's it could be a great story.
we could have a whole page or two on the mandatory clothes check that he had to go through.
Oh my god.
We're gonna have to get a separate URL for this.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be a lot of crossover between the customers.
We could just do it on our site. We'll have a tab. We'll keep track of what the sales are, and then you don't have to have it at all connected to Mocha Boca. We'll leave that to
Yeah,
the
the
kids.
idea of a comic book and or action figures has always, caught us as a cool idea. So if you and Dan, if you're up for writing something like that,
Sure.
and our boy Dan would illustrate, that's his name, right?
So
We've got another illustrator too that we could probably use if need be.
you really want the action figure, but I'm really hearing that you just
compelling.
really want to play with yourself is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of. I want a lightsaber to come out of my forearm, like the old Ben Kenobi. And then if E could have articulated wrists, I think that would be
Very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a motion like this, like he's holding a lightsaber, but he doesn't have a lightsaber arm.
Maybe
thing,
a
if you know what I mean.
string, maybe a pull string on the back of him, where he just the arm just.
Is your lightsaber green or red? Oh no, it's cream colored.
Yeah, his is cream colored. Hey, I had one more question about these books. I noticed when I was trolling your site, and this might get a little uncomfortable in the room, but I noticed you guys, you and your partner, what's his name? The firefighter, Paul.
Yes.
I noticed you guys have done some speaking engagements and book readings to kindergarten through 6th grade.
Yes.
And you've gone in there and read the book to the children. They all love it. Now, my question for you is, because who hasn't dabbled in speaking before 2nd grade classrooms before? If the opportunity for a rather inappropriate joke presents itself,
There's an easy answer to this.
But you know with 100% certainty that the joke will go sailing over the kids' heads. Do you feel that it's upon you to take advantage of that moment and tell the joke, deliver it?
Absolutely not.
God damn
They're
it!
kids, dude.
Have you no filter?
You cannot
Okay.
make a fisting joke to a class of 2nd graders.
Okay.
You can't.
That's not fair.
In the
Okay,
teacher's lounge later, you can say, I was going to say.
here's what happened for anyone that's new to this, and I don't know if you've heard this before, Charlie, but Jay invited me to be guest speaker for his daughter's 2nd grade
the
class.
Sweet Pies class.
Sweet Pies class.
I see the mistake right here.
And so I went in there, and this is documented. We've got photos and everything, and I read the book. I was doing like mistakes that you shouldn't. Like I was reading to the kids like this.
Yeah, it's like, come on,
Instead
man.
of
Get it
like-
up. Show the kids.
And I'm kind of fat, so it's like I'm trying to show these idiots this stuff and read it. And
It was The Rainbow Fish by Marcus Pfister.
yeah. And so I
There's the problem right
Yeah,
there.
right.
The joke writes
Right.
itself. So
I
So
know.
Jay gives me 3 children's books that I can choose from to read. And I'm like, well, this one's way too long. Out. And so I settle on the Rainbow Fish, and I don't notice anything else. I'm like, oh, the Rainbow Fish seems like a good dude. I'll read that to him. And so I get there, and they're like, what are we reading today? And I'm like, well, kids, as you see, this is the Rainbow Fish by... And now I'm hit with, oh, fuck, do I deliver the fisting joke here? And so I was like, there's no way they're going to understand a fisting joke. You know, they're 6. And so I just kind of looked at Jay and went, Marcus Pfister, huh? Well, I guess we'll just leave that sitting right there. And the look of horror on Jay's face, because I didn't technically do a fisting joke. I just wanted
Me and the teacher, the 40-year-old teacher, to know
to understand that,
that
it
he
didn't-
wasn't leaving the Pfister joke on the table. Like, he got it. Like, hey, everybody, you know.
he's like Rocket Raccoon, you know, I'm inability to blink. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
we
It's
can see
ridiculous.
you.
I didn't want people that were old enough to understand, like, boy, you just let that lie there, dude. That was
There's a
sitting
couple
right
2nd
there
graders
for
that
ya.
understand fisting. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it
No.
was me and the teacher.
Him and the teacher, I wanted to impress to them that, hey, I'm just for the record, I'm being respectful right now.
And I felt weird with the teacher anyway because I felt like she felt we were just 2 gay guys in to read for Sweet Pie. So it was just a weird situation anyway.
You know, they have bring your dad to school day. They have bring your daughter to work day. They don't have bring your drunk uncle to the classroom.
Right.
Of the
That's
2nd graders.
basically what I did.
Yes.
And so I've been mocked without mercy for 2-3 years now, ever since that moment. But so you're with Jay, you don't.
Absolutely.
You can't make a fisting joke in elementary
I
school.
technically
Today,
didn't.
boys and girls, we're going to learn about.
Come on, man.
I didn't elaborate on it. All I said was I acknowledged the guy's name was Marcus Pfister, and I'm going to leave that right there. And the kids were like, okay, on to the next page. I didn't see any harm in that. So how do people order these books?
You can go to mochaboca.com.
Mochaboca.com.
Lovely book.
MOKA,
Just the right touch of whimsy and adventure. I think people like these. I think it's a great idea. I for one, am always looking for unique. Well, I'll be honest. My wife's listening right now, going, "Shut up! You are not." My wife is always looking for unique gifts for kids, and this is definitely a unique thing that that somebody isn't already going to have from the toy aisle at Target.
It is so cool that when the book shows up. There's a few of our neighbors get it, and on delivery day, when there's a package on the front porch for them, and they look and their names on it, you know, it's like Christmas morning every month, and that's really cool.
Well, I'm interested too because I know how much joking about it now is fun, but that book seriously personalized to me meant the world. It's the only book from my childhood I hung on to.
When I was a kid, I had a personalized record. Do you remember Zoom? My name is Zoom, and I live on the moon.
I don't remember that, but
It
I
doesn't
do
even
remember.
rhyme. It doesn't even rhyme.
No, it's a terrible rhyme.
God.
Zoom moon.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that, but they just his name could be anything. Why wouldn't they say?
My childhood dreams crashing. Look at
It
that.
doesn't even rhyme.
Why wouldn't they
Zoom
say?
and moon? How about Zune?
Yeah, my name is Zune, and I live on the moon. Like there's-
Problem solved.
Microsoft had already copyrighted Zoom. It wasn't available. They didn't know
Well-
what this sounded like.
I want to order it for my nephews and nieces and that kind of thing because hopefully
do you
they
do
get
Asian
as much.
eyes, or
Pardon me?
can you adjust the eyes to
Yeah,
more of an
yeah.
Asian look?
My wife married an Asian fella. Yes.
Very good.
Very good. Can you guys do that, Charlie? What are you
'Cause
laughing
these-
at? What's the matter
These
with
eyes
you?
are kind of
Grow up, Charlie. It's a serious question.
Yeah, I mean, we want it to be really customized.
So we adjust the skin tones. There is an Asian skin tone, but we do not have different.
So there'll be a yellow kid. Sorry.
What about albinos? If we wanted to send these to
Ooh,
some
that's
friends,
a great point.
We do not have an albino. We have light, medium, and darker skin. We do
May-
have bald.
may we
We have
suggest-
bald hairstyle because we have
The problem with
I was
an
getting-
albino, I'm going to be honest, I think the eyes would bleed right into the face.
That's why you make the
You'd have-
eyeballs
You'd
red.
have pupils. You'd have two bunny-eyed pupils.
But you can still circle the eyes in black,
Yeah, good point.
so they pop, and then as long as they're red, you'd probably want to make the veins a little bit see-through through them, so you knew
Translucent.
translucent, so you knew what we were looking at. I think, by the way, the road you were traveling down, Charlie, was what about someone with special needs? Like someone that's, you said bald. I don't know if you were going the cancer route or just things like that, or someone in a wheelchair or crutches. Can they take part?
So we don't have an option for wheelchair or glasses. Or those are things.
you're
that
not
we've gotten
wheelchair
requests from.
accessible at
We
this
are
point.
not. We are not.
Okay.
So our sweet spot, we're really designing this for kind of
Normal kids.
preschool to.
I was going to say it. God, Jay, did you
You
utter
gotta
that
be
too?
normal. You gotta be normal
You
to get one of
realize
these.
both
Our
of you
sweet
uttered
spot-
normal kids, one off mic and one on mic, and that was the first thought in my head, and I chose to not do that.
we are
Nice job, Jay.
targeting
You left the
kids
Fister joke sitting there.
that are kind of preschool to first grade. That's our sweet spot. We have people buying them for newborns. We have people buying them for fifth graders. But the book is for just as someone is starting to read. This is a book that you have to read to your kid, but then after they hear it a couple times, they'll be able to read it too. So, but right now, every page of this book has 750 options because we have so many different skin tones, hair colors, hairstyles.
Okay.
So if we add glasses, for instance, as an
Glasses.
option, that's adding. We have to change. Every book in the series. We're doing.
Oh,
Make it
yeah.
701.
Yeah.
No problem.
So-
Have you ever missed one? Like left a black kid in as a white kid, you know what I mean? And
We,
the kid gets in and goes, what the
So
hell?
Elena, my
Doesn't
wife,
look
goes
like
through
me.
and she actually checks each book to
Oh,
make
okay.
sure. We have had things where the first. So the process is pretty cool. It happens I write the book, then I work with Dan on the illustrations, and then we lay it out. Kristen is our graphic designer. She does all the typesetting, and then we do. It's a very sophisticated mail merge, basically.
You'll have to explain that term. We have no idea what
Yeah,
mail
mail
merge
merge.
means.
So
Sounds like
in,
something we
sounds
could
corporate,
use, though.
very
We
corporate. Oh,
spend a
yes. I
shitload
like
on
it.
mail merging.
in Microsoft
Is
Word.
it mail hyphen merge?
Yes.
MALE
Hell
or
yes.
MAIL? Which
That's
mail?
Are we talking
That's
docking?
a whole different thing.
Is this a docking issue?
Yeah, is this when you say mail merge?
Docking is the insertion of one man's glands into the foreskin of another's.
Is that what we're talking about?
So that's
'Cause
what
I
we
didn't
think-
think
we
that
hear-
had anything to do with this book.
Mail merge. Jay and I immediately step up and think,
Yeah.
"Oh wow, we're supposed to." You're talking about
a
something
mail
different,
merge
though.
is like if you write a letter in Microsoft Word, you can send it to everyone in your address book, and it'll automatically put the name in.
Oh, that's
Like
boy,
the
that's
way your
way
book was
different than
built.
we were thinking.
Yes, yes. So very low sex, high end tech. But ours is doing that with not only the words and the relationship between the characters, but then also all the image files come
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So if we add a wheelchair in here, we have to change these 750 pieces of art to accommodate that.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
yes, it's something we would like to add down the road, but also we're a startup. We're trying to keep things lean. We're trying to reach the most people
Yeah.
with the options.
So go normal first, and we'll deal with the rest later. Is what you're saying.
Not at all.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
Normal.
How
Charlie's
is the
word,
how has the
normal.
response been, by the way?
So there's two types of people. There's people who love the book and people who haven't heard about it yet. So,
Yeah.
the folks who are getting it are just like, "Oh, this is so cool." The kids want to read it again and again.
We have to
'cause it's about
remember
them.
that phrase. That's an awesome
Which
marketing
one?
phrase. There's people who have heard of our show or who love our show, and then those who haven't heard of it.
Yeah. Well, that's his specialty. We need to get Charlie to help us more with
Yeah.
doing that stuff. I was reading actually in some of your your other work life. You were talking about pet peeves of yours, and one of them you listed in your bio was like shitty billboards or something. And And Jay and I have thought about a billboard. What are your thoughts on those? Do you think those are effective ways of advertising for things still?
Oh, absolutely. Because
Yeah.
it's the one time where you're not looking at a screen. Hopefully, most
Yeah.
people are only half looking at their screen. Then
Right.
they're mainly looking at things on the road.
So what is the definition of then of a lazy or bad billboard?
Very small type. You see this a lot where people design this and it probably looks great on your computer, but at 70 mile an hour, it's unreadable. The fonts are too small.
Yeah.
There's not enough contrast in the colors.
How about unattractive people?
Always there's
Yeah,
some
maybe
people
we
that
should
should like in
put our logo up there.
podcasting. That's why.
Yeah. Well, we thought at one point of doing. We had a picture. We had a photographer over here, and he's taken a ton of pictures of us over the last few years. And my girlfriend's dog was here, Izzy, and we had just gotten in Detroit Cast panties, like women's panties, and it just said Detroit Cast on the ass, and so we put them on the dog, and we got this great picture of her on all fours, turning around like come hither, looking back at the camera with this thong Detroit Cast on the ass, and we thought like. That'd be kind of cool to throw up on a billboard and have people go, "Why is this dog wearing a thong
All right,
underwear?"
here's our headline. There are two types of people in this world: people who are offended and people who haven't listened to the Detroit Cast. So there you go.
There you go. See?
Dude, I like that.
I know.
Would they allow us to put that on a billboard? You think?
Absolutely.
You think they would? A dog? Because
You know that Facebook nixed that picture. They were like, you can't put panties on a dog. We're like, we're dressing
Let's
a dog.
pull
The
it
dog
up.
was,
Let's
you can
see.
put a bare ass dog on
you looking for the
Facebook, but you
picture, Ian?
can't dress the dog in
yeah,
panties.
it was like it would have been an exposed butthole and vagine had we not put panties on it. And by putting panties on it,
We covered that shit.
all of a sudden we were the bad guys. It didn't make any sense. But then I got a picture yanked from Facebook for putting a snow dick and balls on a snowman, and they removed that too.
People are very upset.
They are. Are you finding the picture, E? E, talking to the microphone. God damn it!
E, you're making my bones hurt.
Yeah, you're making my
Son
bones
of a
hurt
bitch.
too.
I'm so glad you said bones.
Why?
I thought he was going to say something else.
Yeah. No, it's just he makes our bones hurt. It's a long story. Anyway, well, good luck with the book. I also wanted
With the bones.
with the bones, yeah. About TEDx Detroit.
Yeah. So
That's you helped bring the famous TED speeches, international fame for those, and you guys are doing TEDx Detroit now.
yeah, this will be our 9th year.
Wow.
We'll be back in the fall.
And what does that mean? What are they focused just on local things, local
So
issues?
TED stands for, well, originally was an acronym for Technology, Entertainment, and Design, 3 fields that drive innovation across all sectors of the economy. And TEDx Detroit basically talks about the innovators working here in Michigan that are doing cool things. So
Yeah.
we put scientists on stage and educators and entrepreneurs, and they share what they're working on.
Are you have you done those too? Done some of those speeches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. Normally the normal keynote speech is an hour or 2 hours. With a TED Talk, it's 6 minutes to 15 minutes. So if
Okay.
you only had the world's attention for a little bit, what would you want to say? So it gets people to the point quickly.
Nice. And where can people go to see that?
That'll TEDx.
We found the picture. It is.
Yes, the question as soon as you put up dog butt on the screen. That was seriously taken down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Something I never thought about is she's wearing them backwards. Maybe that's what Facebook was troubled with. You
Is
put,
she-
you
it's
put
a
a G-string
dog,
on
dude.
backward.
Yeah, but it's a dog.
I am so glad you put the G-string on backwards.
I don't think that's the most disturbing aspect of
I
that
can't
picture.
believe that was pulled down. That's that is a funny.
Yeah, fuck the book.
Don't you think that'd be cool though on a billboard? Like a giant picture of that, and then what you said.
We have to cut
You
her
know?
out, so it's just isolated on a clean field, so it's a quick read.
To Charlie's point, though,
Send that over to me.
I think
we'll mock up the billboard.
honestly, I don't know that
All
that's
right.
the best image for the billboard because it's smallish in that her I don't know. I don't know that it's a clear enough image to.
But
throw
that's
on a,
if you cut her out of the background and put her just on a
Yeah.
solid field.
Yeah.
It'll be a quick read. It has to. You can't
Can
have
we
a
get
busy background.
Can we get a cuter dog? To do it?
Oh, for crying out loud, dude! That's our dog.
We could put Eric in the same pose.
No, that dog.
That that would be preferred.
Eric, you don't want to wear Detroit Cast panties like
I
that?
don't. I just think this would be better than a dog.
It'd be funny to see how traffic patterns change if people drive a different route to work to
Yeah.
get away from that billboard.
I don't know. I think that's something different than you've ever seen in a billboard.
That is
Right?
different from anything I've ever seen in a billboard.
Like even if we just had the words about the Detroit Cast and hey, if you're not offended, blah blah blah, that is eye grabbing to me, right?
Yes, it is.
I don't think it's going to work, honestly. I think the image of the logo is too small on her ass. And, obviously you're not just putting the dog up. You have other text with it. But I don't think that's a good enough picture. I'm saying it right now, and you can cut it out and see what you can do with it, Chuck. But I think it's a futile effort.
I think you're being a negative Nancy right now. I think that has tremendous upside possibilities
I
to
think
it,
the idea
and I think
of
we
it-
at least look at it.
The idea of it, perhaps, but not that image. The idea of a dog's ass. Okay, I'm on board.
But you can't just do a dog's ass. You almost need to come hither. Look, sorry, Charlie, we do this a lot and argue about this stuff. I'm sorry you had
I
to be
don't
a
think
part of this
that's
meeting.
the image, man.
I think you're both correct. I think it's the come hither
He
look
said I'm
that
correct.
works. The come hither look works. You can always get a cuter model. Okay?
Yes,
So
it's an
I
ugly
can't
dog.
believe the shots that are being taken at Izzy. She's gorgeous.
she's not the best looking bitch I've ever seen.
See,
She's a purebred Weimaraner, Minor
they're-
Weiner, Weimerniner.
to be
whatever
honest,
those
and,
things
and
are.
she is
Very
a good,
popular breed you can
Yes.
pronounce.
right. She's
Extremely
a
popular.
fine-looking Weimaraner.
Is it her ass you guys have a problem
no,
with?
Here's
What
the
is
thing.
it?
Here's the thing. If you polled the public, I think most people would be like, "Yeah, Weimaraners. They're not really that attractive a dog."
Wow.
You either
shots
want to go
fired.
extra, she's kind of in between. She's not bulldog ugly cute,
Right.
and she's not, golden retriever beautiful.
Right.
So you guys want to go with a standard fare?
We need a
golden?
snickerdoodle, or we need like an English bulldog. You got to
Doodle.
go.
I think if
you
you're
gotta
going-
go full ugly or full beautiful.
Yep.
All right, I'll give you this. If
She's
we're
a 5.
if we're going away from Izzy, I
Classic
think we
5.
go. I think we go away from Izzy, and we panty up a mini horse or something. We know people that have mini horses, dude.
Yeah. I'm fine
would,
with
would
that.
a mini
I
horse?
would. A mini horse would catch your eye. Yes.
I'm fine with
Yes.
that, Mike.
Can
Again,
we-
I'm not against the idea. I'm just against that image in particular.
Yeah, he hates Izzy. So.
I don't hate Izzy, although she's destroyed many of my business documents and put her little wet nose all over my legs. Drives
We
me
need
crazy.
to make a 1/3 version of yourselves to put you on the back of the mini horse. So then the mini horse is a mini giant horse.
In a yeehaw mode.
I kind of like that idea. All right. Now we're tossing some good ideas. We'll get back to you on this one. I think you can help us with this, Charlie.
Curve's been around for more than 10 years, and I think
know.
this might be the end. So it's nice.
This
Be
is how
fun
it
to do
ends.
I
something
like to go
different.
out on
Who
a,
wants
on
to
a low
work
note,
for? Who wants to work for General Motors and
Yeah.
Saturn when you can work with the
Boring.
Detroit cast?
Remember the dog ass? Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was ours.
Good
you don't have to put
times.
your name on it.
The dog ass. It'll go on down in history. the dog ass.
Yeah, and
He
when it
thought he put a
sweeps the
dog
country
ass on a
and people
billboard.
are talking about it on international papers about look what's
Dog
going on to
ass.
Detroit with this dog ass photo.
We're going to be more popular than Ariana Grande.
That's right.
Sorry.
Too soon?
Was it?
Too soon.
Was it too soon?
It was too soon. Charlie Wolberg, thank you so much for coming by, dude. Wish you
Thanks for having me.
continued success, pal, and good luck with the book, too. People can get it at mokaboka.com. That's MOKABOKA.com.
Thanks a lot, Charlie.
Have a great day.
All right, buddy.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
During this break from Mike and Jay's hard-hitting analysis of the latest stories about dead babies or strangely shaped tumors out of India, I want to encourage you to contact Brent Wasik about insurance. Yeah, I know, auto, home, and life insurance isn't as exciting as the latest toy, but it's important that you have the insurance coverages you need at the lowest possible price. Call Brent today at 734-455-1900 for a free quote. Brent's been in the insurance business 29 years, almost as long as Big E has resided in his poor parents' basement. And he's affiliated with tons of insurance companies, so he can shop for the very best prices. Call Brent today, 734-455-1900.
Hey, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford & Holly and DealsInTheD.com. I have one word for you. Trucks, trucks, trucks. Almost 150. That's how many Zott Ford has available. Yeah, I know, that's way more than one word, but who's counting? More excitingly, lease a new 17 Ford F-150 for just $199 a month. Yes, the #1 selling truck on the planet can be yours for under $200 a month, and you have almost 150 to choose from. Only from your friends at Zott Ford and DealsInTheD.com.
Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right. Welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. We're getting through the week, huh? What are we at, Tuesday?
Just moving through the week, huh?
Just
E?
cooking through the week.
Almost hump day.
Heading
Almost
toward,
hump
yeah,
day.
heading toward hump day. You're right.
Before you know it, it'll be the weekend.
Then we'll just shrek that off and another one of those.
Get
and
Jay under contract again for
right.
would be the last week of the month.
then a month, then a year, then we'll be dead.
I think our people are talking, so we'll have something whipped up, another 7-day contract at least.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
is in the works.
People have been difficult at times, but they've been relatively cool of late.
It's been reasonable.
Yeah. Oh man.
E,
this-
I'm worried. Before you go move on, Mike, I'm worried that
boy.
Mike has developed a wheeze. I think he developed it on the break.
Really?
A shortness of breath and a wheeze. Do you detect it, E?
I haven't paid much attention, but I'll keep my ear open for
Definitely
it.
a shortness of breath.
well,
I
I'm
did
slowly
walk down
dying.
the
I mean, you
stairs.
do realize I'm slowly dying.
I think we need to get him a doctor, E.
You might
Yeah,
be
worried.
I'm scheduling an appointment this week with a doctor. I know I said I was going to do it
Doctor?
yesterday, but I'm actually going to do it today.
I thought I heard you on the phone yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah,
With
somebody.
There's an increased shortness of
that was
breath
a
that
different-
concerns
Okay.
me. It concerns me, yeah.
All right, let me say this.
I'm not trying to rip on you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're not well right now. You aren't.
I know. I'm never well.
Whether it's allergies or what,
Yeah.
you haven't been yourself in a month, Mike.
I do think we should probably consider
I do feel better today.
the chair up and down the stairs. It might. I mean,
Yeah.
those are
That might
it's
be
a
the
walk.
shortness of breath. Yeah, you're right. After the he came down the stairs and
Do you-
rejoined us.
Do you notice when you drink a lot of water that you can
have to
get
pee?
No, that you get like I'm dead serious. I notice this, like I can get full from water and then kind of have a feeling of shortness of breath almost. And I drank a couple glasses of water upstairs before I came back down here. Is that possible? Does anyone know what I'm
Get
talking
over
about?
Water. I mean, it is a way to fill yourself up without eating shit. You know what I mean? Like if you just drink bread and water. It can
Yeah, I've never been short of breath due
but
to
I've never.
drinking
Yeah,
water.
it usually helps.
Yeah.
It's more like a
hurt.
fullness. We just ate that lunch
Replenishes.
too. I just have a fullness to me, and it maybe I am feeling a little short of breath.
You know what it is, Mike
I don't
or
know.
Jay?
I'm
He
glad you
ate-
brought this up there. This is certainly what I need from the audience is to
No. This
poke
is
more fingers at
I'm
me
not-
and haha.
I'm
look
not
at you,
making
you're
fun.
dying.
I'm
Haha,
trying to
you're
get you the
fat.
help
Haha,
that you
you're
need.
Short.
I'm
Haha,
trying to-
your shortness of breath.
Maybe it has
Haha,
to do
you're
with the
gross.
fact that
Haha,
he,
you're a loser. Haha, your cat stinks.
he had a
Haha,
real
your
meal.
house
The
stinks.
cat does
Haha,
stink, and
everybody
your cat-
hates you. Haha, you don't have
that's
any
not true.
friends.
Not
Haha,
true.
you're a great lover. Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever.
I wouldn't be laughing about that.
I don't need it.
A great lover.
Wait, what? That's
Huh?
the one you
What?
chose to
Huh?
key in on.
Did you hear what my suggestion
No,
was?
what's your
Nobody wants your
suggestion?
suggestion.
Give me a suggestion, E.
That maybe it has to do with something that he had a full meal today.
A
like-
meal?
I was at a meeting, not a meal.
I mean, often he'll tell me, like, I don't know if he just whatever, but he doesn't eat that often.
Yeah,
so,
he eats in odd ways, right? He doesn't
right,
go grocery
so maybe
shopping.
the
He-
idea that he had this full meal.
I'm just gonna stand here in the corner and observe from afar. You guys got this.
Well, we're worried about you, Mike, and that's why we bring these things up. I think we need you to get the medical help that you need.
So a conversation that could have been had like behind the scenes, so we didn't have to involve the audience.
Maybe.
into my personal life inner workings.
I don't doubt that close listeners have noticed the wheeze.
really.
Yeah. The
you hear
shortness
Derek?
of breath. The shortness of breath and the wheeze. Very worried. I'm concerned.
All right. Well, maybe I should go have some cocktails like at this bar in Washington.
No,
DC.
that's called a Segui.
Did you catch that? E?
I did.
This
how you get big bucks.
what's a pop-up bar? Do you
I
remember that?
bet
They
it's a
reference.
hipster thing, dude.
You think so?
I bet it's something. I think probably some. I mean, I could look it up. You just brought it
How
up.
do you do that with liquor licensing needs? A pop-up bar.
I don't know, but
it
you see
suggests
'em-
to me that it just is like, oh, happening this week over here. This week it's over here. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of permit pulling
Yeah.
to do that. But we've seen those carts like downtown where you've got rail seating and some guys driving you around like in a
the little pedal things.
pedal taxi, but it's got kegs on it. You just sit there and drink.
Yep.
I mean, is that a pop-up bar?
I don't think that's what they mean.
No. Okay. Well, this bar's in some trouble, as they're accused of mocking Bill Cosby's rape trial.
Oh man.
I know. The owners of the Washington D.C. based bar Diet Starts Monday. It's kind of a cool name, right?
No.
Diet
Come
Starts
on, dude.
Monday.
I thought you were going to call it totally douchey, and I was going to go, yep, agreed.
Yeah, it is kind of douchey, but we wanted to open Rehab.
Diet Starts Monday bar?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dumb,
It's probably
man.
greasy food and bad drinks. So your diet starts Monday. So come in here and celebrate and have fun before your diet starts Monday.
I don't know.
It's catch. Did you like our idea for the bar Rehab? Which I think they've done now.
I don't remember
There's
your
a
idea.
there's a club in Vegas called Rehab.
Yeah, well, when Jay was in college, God, 40 years ago, whatever it was.
Probably 50.
Yeah, I remember being there, and we came up with that idea, and I remember yelling at everyone in your house, "Don't steal this idea!
That's a solid idea.
Don't steal this idea! We're opening a bar called Rehab, and when your wife or your girlfriend goes, 'Where are you going?' I'm going to Rehab." Well,
Wordplay.
okay.
Wordplay was
Yeah.
always Mike's speciality.
It was my strong suit, Jay. I will give you that. Well, these guys are fans of it as well because Diet Starts Monday. They removed an item that they had at their bar dubbed the Pill Cosby.
The Phil Cosby?
The Pill Cosby.
Pill Cosby. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's not a bad name for one of those drinks. You always see those catchy drinks. How's that any worse than Sex on the Beach? The Pill Cosby. So people went in there, started getting this drink, and then taking photos of it and sent it out on Twitter. You can see where this is going, right?
Sure.
Of course, we need to shut the bar down
offensive.
and make sure nobody ever works again is what we need to have happen because the Pill Cosby is just so utterly offensive.
To women everywhere.
Yeah, there it is.
It's got little pills floating
I
around.
know that.
That's a
Clever,
bit much.
man.
Jay, I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing as you. Wow, that is kind of clever, but
Are those little gummy pills like the sharks in the shark bowl?
I think they're just empty pill capsules.
I would want to know, yeah.
and
And I wouldn't give a shit, obviously. But
obviously,
for
but
normal
nobody's
people-
going to date rape you.
Well, no. I mean, like, if I were a person who cared about hygiene, like, where are where are they keeping those pills?
Dude, if those are real pill capsules, they would dissolve. They're not real pill capsules.
I understand. That's my point. So what are they then? Little plastic things that
Yes,
are in
they're
your
dumb
drink?
little plastic things that they ordered from China, and maybe they're even little ice cubes or something. I don't know.
I don't think they make ice cubes that look like that.
Dude, they make ice cubes in non-ice, non-water to ice form. Sure.
You mean are you talking like little lollipop icicle things that you can make trays with them?
No. They make like little plastic ice cubes that you can put in drinks, like little starfish and fish and all that.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
I don't know. I'm just speculating, but my point is they're not real pills.
No,
A
they're
real
not. They
pill
did
would
not. They're not
dissolve.
just open in like a bunch of Zantac and.
But E thinks they were.
No.
Yes.
No, I
you
did not.
You suggested
no,
they were real.
My point was, I
You
think
suggested it.
My
You did.
point was for people that were like concerned about that stuff. I would be like, are these just little? Like, how clean would these pills be?
As clean as the fucking umbrella
Straw
that's
is.
put in.
I
don't know.
Well, they say ice cubes are. You shouldn't.
All of a
get
sudden,
ice cubes.
E is worried about cleanliness.
I'm not. I said for other people.
Unfortunately, the bar never realized that this could potentially be a problem. And initially, they said they put the drink on their menu. You got to come up with some answer, right? We wanted to raise awareness about sexual assault, but several
What
of
a
our
bunch
Twitter
of
followers
dicks.
and Yelp users thought otherwise. Some even trying to get the bar out of business. Don't get raped. Don't be mocked. Don't support rape culture, and don't go here. Yeah.
It's tough. That's a tough tweet to get if you're a business.
Apparently these men, if you can call them that, made this drink. They slept in the day. Who made this drink slept in on the day of the Million Woman March. Looking forward to you going out of business. Lighten up, ladies.
To bring awareness.
I want to bring awareness.
It's the only
to
play.
rape. Yeah. What else could you?
Yeah.
Or you could just go. You know what? It was fucking funny. Shut up. Go away.
Yeah, that's another
It was
one,
a
I guess.
joke.
That's the
E,
alternative.
do you have my violins? Because I do have a statement from the club. Excuse me.
Jesus, violins now.
Hi, everybody. This is us here at Diet Starts Monday. Been a rough couple of days for us here. This drink was a one-time thing, and its inclusion as an offering of ours was in poor taste, and we've taken all necessary steps to ensure it won't happen again. We take full responsibility and apologize to anyone we offended. The allegations against Mr. Cosby are serious, and we in no way intended to make light of the pain surrounding his behavior. We rely on our community to help us guide everything we do, and We appreciate the feedback. Was a mistake. It will not be made again. We are sorry.
Rely on the community. Like, thank you for tweeting at us.
We've begun the process of reaching out to our leaders in our community to teach us how to be better. And we value everyone's thoughts. Again, we are so sorry for the pain this has caused, and we're working to do better. Sincerely, Davin, Kevin, and John.
God, that voice is hard.
I'm worried about the wheeze. You hear it, everybody? There's a wheeze.
God, dude, these apology letters that these people have to go on. We're reaching out to community. Think about Devin, Kevin, and John who opened. That's me, you, and E opened a bar.
Yeah, and how much of that was tongue-in-cheek bullshit? Like,
You think?
Snarky. Maybe.
They're reaching out to community leaders,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
If we ever get in trouble, can we please say we're reaching out to community leaders to learn how to do
How
better?
would that meeting? What community leader are they meeting with on this, and how would that go exactly? I mean,
I don't know. Do you have a sit down at the
Anti-rape
church?
advocacy thing, you know, some chick
Yeah.
with hairy
just tell
armpits.
her, like, look at.
Some chick in a sundress with hairy armpits comes in.
Yeah.
Really frizzy hair. Tells
Right.
You know, how she's been raped like 4 times.
Not wearing a bra.
Right.
Hell no.
I don't know.
Unshaven legs.
I think that could be read as totally tongue-in-cheek. Like,
Really?
Fuck off.
I don't know, dude. I think they got walloped with Twitter shit and all kinds of stuff.
Trucks. Almost 150. That's how many Zott Ford has available right now. Lease a new 17 Ford F-150 XLT Crew Cab 4x4 at just $199 a month. Yes, the #1 selling truck on the planet can be yours for under $200 a month. Plus, you have almost 150 trucks to choose from. This is only from your friends at Zott Ford and dealsinthed.com.
Remember the Florida man we were talking about the other day?
With the huge Panoose.
Oh, would have made you blush. You know what I mean?
Don't start with the big dick jokes again, okay?
Well, I'm just saying. His name was Dick, of course, Patterson, 65. He was, yesterday, acquitted of second-degree murder.
Acquitted of all charges.
Not guilty, Your Honor. Dick is way too gorgeous to murder.
My hog was just too big. Choked her out.
Yep. Sorry, not much I could do. This is Francisca Martinez or whatever. This is the woman who apparently choked to death on his dong. She was 60. How about that for a way for Nana to go out?
She's such a throwaway fact in this whole thing. Like,
I know.
what? Francisca who? I don't remember ever mentioning her name when we
Listen.
talked about this for an hour. I just remember that dude's big dick.
You remember her son giving quotes, though? Omar something?
Not really.
Where he was like, this is bullshit. He murdered my mom.
Now he's trying to just tell the world he's got a big dick.
He's got a huge dick. It
Yeah.
won't work. And I'm thinking, he's going to have kids. And you're going to go, what happened to Nana? Why didn't I have a grandma growing up? And it's like, apparently she choked on a huge, and I mean huge cock.
Your Nana had a penchant for large cock.
Yeah. And I mean, she was just going to town on this 70-year-old man. Like I said, it was a huge cock.
She was a cocksucker.
Yeah.
Sorry for the homophobic slur, but it's
But
true.
she was. So anyway, she died, according to the medical team that looked at her. I mean, just asphyxiation to death. What is asphyxiation? I thought asphyxiation was the death. Asphyxiation to death?
Yeah, is that redundant? I thought, yeah, right.
Sounds like it.
Asphyxiation is what it is.
So the medical examiner, Lori Boyko, who performed the autopsy on Ms. Martinez, told the court Thursday for the victim to have choked to death on Patterson's Panoose, the organ would have had to have been lodged far enough down her throat for 2 to 3 straight minutes, and there would have been a struggle. So, dude, knowing that, like, what else do you need to know? I mean, he choked her to death, dude. He did not choke her to death with his dick. It's more fun for the story. It gets the headline. Unless he was doing that new thing that I keep telling you guys about, those cock-sucking ones where it's just like, fucking, choke on it! Fucking choke on it! And they're just looking up at you, and they've just got tears and makeup streaming down their face. Friends have told me all about this. And it's just like
a lot of those type of porn.
you've got the
apparently.
girl. You like
I've
wrap.
never seen it.
Shut up, E. You wrap her ponytail around your hand, and then you grab her by the back of the head. And you fucking choke on, gag on it, fucking gag on it, and snot's running down their face and drool, and they're going. The whole time.
So you're getting off on just her humiliation is all it is.
Sort of.
Yeah.
It's like the New Day version of like whizzing on someone's face.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So unless he was doing that and he was just taking the role play way too far, I think he just choked her with his fucking hands.
Well, wouldn't there be physical evidence of that, though? Bruising around the neck and all that?
They
Isn't
know
it
how
more
to-
plausible there was a MyPillow with patented fill shoved over her face?
Even
Maybe.
that, can't they tell that stuff?
I think they
usually? I mean,
can,
that's
yeah.
my point. Like,
Well, here's the thing.
they
They
might
don't.
have struggled. I mean, but it still could have been the Panoose. Just he didn't.
Well,
He just didn't let up.
they did find a basket covered with tissues with just blood and semen in them, which tells me he probably wasn't stopped until he finished. You know what I mean? Like, if I had to guess, I don't know. And then, what was the other aspect of this? That-
Blood and semen all over tissues.
yeah.
What is?
I thought you had tears and you said blood and semen. I thought you said tears and semen.
Well, there's probably some tears mixed in there, too.
Oh, I thought I didn't realize. Never mind.
Yeah, makeup too. She probably had makeup running down her face. It was probably a whole thing. But he didn't call 911, if you remember, and so they don't know exactly when she died. But they said it was upwards of 48 hours before any cops knew.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
this
'cause he
it
was
seemed like
embarrassed.
a real fucking Hail Mary, and it worked, man.
I was embarrassed once again. My gigundous humgorous cock gets me in. You know, here I am
The worst
talking to
part-
you guys again. Sorry, officer, I was humiliated.
So now she's dead. He got acquitted. So he also now has this like where he can walk around and be like, "Yep,
That's right.
dude, he could get a reality show out of this.
oh, I know."
You know what I mean? Seriously.
Hey, our friends at Zott Ford need your help. They're in the middle of a massive sales contest. Help them win by buying or leasing a new Ford Focus, Fusion, or Taurus. During this contest, buy a new 17 Ford Focus for as low as $13 grand, or lease a new 17 Ford Fusion as low as $118 a month. Better yet, buy a new 17 Ford Taurus for just $21,500. Surf their filthy deals and massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
How are we doing for email, Jay?
We do have some email, Mike.
What do we got?
AA Non writes in. Weed smoker, weed puller, and human weed. I had to laugh when I heard your discussion in chapter number 825 on Trump's speeches and media prep with the bullet points. So, of course, we're referring to his love for bullet-pointed information, graphs, and so forth.
Who doesn't, by the way?
Honest to God, I swear it's a guy thing, says AA Non, who happens to be a female. I've spent my whole career in the various aspects of media and communications. I finally learned that when you're writing for chicks, you give all the details, background, etc., and when you're writing for guys, it's straight bullet points with just the facts. When it's a mixed audience, I do a little bit of both. I'll give you a background at the top and then straight to the bullet points. Once I started doing that, life got a whole lot easier. Later, bitches, AA Non. It's
Really?
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting difference between men and women.
What?
One of many.
Oh,
I think
Jay.
I think I'm in between those two. Like, I don't read the bullet points at the top of a story. Like, I want the details of the story. But I could see if it was at a lecture I had to be at where I would just want bullet points.
Yeah, if you need to just digest a bunch of info,
Yeah.
yeah, give me the bullet points. I don't want to read like 3 pages of
Yeah.
prose.
Well, think about how many emails you've just thrown in the garbage you refuse to even read because they're so longly written. You know what I mean?
The only ones I really don't read are just simple links. I'll be honest. If somebody just
Yeah.
goes, check this out, and it's just a link, like, no.
No.
You
You
gotta-
do the legwork, sir.
You got to tell me what this is.
Well, the shitty thing
Do
is
we have a
most of
lady
those-
swinging a leash with a dog on the end of it, knocking out another lady?
Yeah.
If so, I want to know that up front.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be like, yeah, check this out. No, I'm not doing that work.
Do you ever try to figure out what the story is just by the link?
Nope. Don't even
You know,
look
because
at
a
it.
lot of them will be like some weird combination of numbers, dashes, letters, and then there will be like
Detroit Cast
woman
interview,
hyphen
Martin Starr. Yeah.
woman hyphen dog fight leash. You know,
Yeah,
something
no,
like that.
I don't do that.
The reason I get so frustrated, though, especially on Facebook, is because people send them to us all the time. Check this out. You're not going to believe it. And it's either a story we talked about a month ago, or it's a story from 4 years ago
Or
from
it's
from
fake.
from a source I don't recognize.
Right.
Some weird offshoot of something trying to look like an actual media outlet. There's a lot of those where some of the most horrific stories on race relations. You'll see like, you can't believe that. What? That headline? No way did that happen. And then you see it's from some like alt right group,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like
sponsored
okay,
content.
yeah, and you don't even know,
Yeah.
you know, and it's 4 years old anyways. Yeah, those ones I don't even bother reading.
Curtis writes in, Jay, Sneech, and Cult Leader. 2 more boxes of chocolate Hebrews are on its way to the Detroit Cast, arriving May 30th to June 2nd. They are the same chocolate Maccabees we had before, it appears. Sold by Judica Discount Center.
Judica, I believe it's pronounced.
Judaica. Judica. All right.
Judica.
1 box of 8 Maccabees. Finishing up the Jim Jones book, says Curtis. Great read. One of you should read this to the Sneech.
He got to listen to the interview.
Sitting there reading that book to the Sneech. Every day we read a couple pages.
It's Eric dozing off to warm milk.
I used to love reading time, so story time.
Those chocolates, by the way, those Jew chocolates that he sent us are amazing. They're actually very, very good.
I didn't have one. I'll have to have one this time. Alex writes in concerning Comic-Con and personalized license plates. Dearest Jay, Mike, and Sneech. Sneeches get Sneeches? Sneeches get Steeches.
Yeah.
I went to Comic-Con this weekend, as I have for the past 5 years. I was thinking of getting Guilfoyle's autograph, but after hearing him on the podcast last week, I made it a priority. He signed the Silicon Valley print, seen on the table in the pic below. He signed it, quote, "You rock," unquote. And then he drew an arrow pointing at Dinesh, and he wrote, "He doesn't," and added a pentagram. He was cool as hell in person. As for personalized plates, check this bad boy out below. So what do we have? We have a Trans Am that says, "You too slow," I think.
That's not a Trans Am, is it?
So like a, I don't know, like a 92 Trans Am or some shit.
IROC. I think that's a Camaro, dude.
All right, whatever.
You too slow. You too slow. That's what it looks like, doesn't it?
It does. That's
And he's missing an O in there on 2.
dude. It's got like a friggin' fin on the back that the guy had and all that.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell
you
yeah.
you too slow.
He's basically saying you to slow.
Yeah, I
Like
wonder.
he's-
I wonder, says Alex, how far slow is from
Yeah.
soon. That's all for now. Good day. I said good day, Alex.
Yes, huh?
So there's this picture with one Martin Starr, Guilfoyle of Silicon Valley.
I hope you said hi from us.
That's
to
what I was
him.
gonna say. Like, he didn't say it in the letter, but if he actually was gonna talk to him and get that autograph for our benefit, it'd be nice almost to be like, man, nice interview on the podcast. I
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah, that was too much to ask
I'm
for
sure
young
went
Alex.
I'm sure he went the
apparently.
extra
He
yard.
was like,
Jay's
fuck
giving him
it,
the
this
benefit of
is,
the doubt.
this is my time here with Martin Starr. Do not need to waste precious seconds on the fucking Detroit cast. Fuck those guys. Is basically what Alex did. I'm with you, E.
Oh my gosh, I neglected to read post.
Oh, no.
Let me finish out one more.
Maybe we can save those for tomorrow.
Do you have a fresh new stack of
I have
posts?
a fresh new
Good
stack of
Lord.
posts. Ron writes in concerning the peanut butter knife. Is it possible, gentlemen, that this idea has already been thought of?
Yes. Of
Please
course it
say
is.
it's not.
Of course it is.
So
don't
this
think
is
it's
the
quite
jelly
your-
knife.
Yeah.
It says great for peanut butter and jelly. And it's got sort of a bevel at the bottom.
But it's not a real knife. It's not a knife that's really a dual purpose. It's like, so now you just have another utensil.
Another dude tweeted at me,
I don't see what that does. I'm missing something.
well, it gets around those ridges at the bottom. It's sort of like, no, you don't see it? It's sort of shaped like a butt.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about this ridge as a problem up here.
That's a problem, too. That does nothing about that ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. A dude tweeted at me a spackle knife, and he's just like, yeah, man, I mean,
Yeah.
you worked at Gene's Hardware.
Yeah.
You should know about these.
Yep,
I'm not
you should.
taking a spackle knife to my food products.
What
okay?
if you bought a fresh spackle knife, ran it through the dishwasher,
just put that
and
in
then
the,
just put it in the drawer as your peanut butter knife?
like husky on the handle or some shit?
And I find it hard to
Craftsman.
believe that that is a suitable utensil for both peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Unless it's got a spoon aspect to it, because jelly, there's nothing worse than putting your jelly knife in the jelly and then having it fall off either side and land on the counter.
Are you telling me that you use a spoon to get your jelly out?
No, I
What
a lot
are you
of
getting at?
I will tip mine and knife it out. But in my younger days, I wouldn't be afraid to knife my jelly and then have it fucking fall on the counter, and then you try and scoop that up with a finger. No.
Shouldn't be eating jellies, Mike. You should be more into jams and spreads. You wouldn't have that problem. It's
Yeah.
more substantive.
Yeah.
It's less prone to bounce off your knife.
Does Smucker's have jam or spread
I'm sure they do.
in
yeah.
grape?
I'm sure. I'm sure they do.
Because Smucker's grape is the shit. Is anyone
Yeah.
going to fight me on this one?
St. Louis Clydesdales
Apparently not.
has
I don't
post.
like jelly, so.
This is posted in by Mandy. I appreciate this. The St. Louis Clydesdales, full-grown Clydesdales, stand how tall, gentlemen?
Wait, full-grown Clydesdales.
Yeah.
Are they standing on their back hands, or are they just
No,
like,
they're just
on
standing
all
on all
fours?
fours.
8 feet.
I'll say 8 feet. 1.
6 feet tall at the shoulder and can weigh up to 2,300 pounds.
That's a ton, dude. Woo! That's a ton.
More than a ton. How much is a
was
ton?
it?
This is one measurement that E knows.
2,000 pounds.
It's like burned in his brain.
Somehow that measurement got burned in there.
These large draft horses are most recognizable by the all-white feathering on all four legs and the characteristic high hoof action demonstrated while they trot. Clydesdale horses are originally from Scotland.
Aha.
See, that's a fact that usually would have been stamped over.
Yep.
Mandy was nice enough to put it in an envelope.
Excellent.
So
Good for her.
Our fact is preserved.
Is that from St. Louis?
Beautiful beasts. Beautiful equines.
Dude, they are. Do they make mini versions of these? If we could get a mini Clydesdale, dude, how tits would that be?
Yeah, that would be something.
Man,
Well, those are
imagine him
majestic.
prancing around down
I know.
here.
It would be nice.
I'd just spend all day leading him to water. All day. I'd have a little trough with water in it, and I'd just take him upstairs
lead him
and
over
then I'd
there.
lead him back over there.
That's all you can do.
It's all I can do. And then I'd have tons of Budweiser about the house, too.
Washington, D.C., gentlemen. Also sent by Mandy. The White House has been the official residence of U.S. presidents since when?
Wait, the White House has been the official house. When was the fire?
It was
During the War of
It was
18,
after this time.
Whatever, yeah. I think it's not as long as.
1800 when John Adams officially moved in.
Damn it! I was gonna.
So was he the one after the fire? that
No,
moved
the
in
fire
after?
happened after. John Adams
Oh,
was our
okay.
second president,
All right.
father of John Quincy.
Let me see it. You guys have seen it up close, right?
Yeah, I've been inside that son of a bitch.
Have you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Were they giving out
Most-
free tours?
Most kids have been to D.C. Yeah.
I've
been in
never
there
been
twice.
to the White House.
Even my cheap family took me to D.C. Come on, Mike.
Mine didn't. Mine thought body surfing in California was
Yeah,
more
I was about to
important,
say.
So, you know.
You had way more extravagant places to go.
Dude,
Than
I'd
our
love to go
nation's
there.
Capital.
So where do you go? Like, could you recognize? Like, did you go into the Oval?
No, fuck no.
Who was president at the time?
Let's see. Well, when I wrote to the president, it was Carter. So I got a nice.
You wrote to Carter? What a dude! That's the douchiest president you could write to, outside of Obama.
Probably right. I do still have the. I should bring it in. It's like a little thing that I got back. You know, they obviously get mail all the time from kids, and so they just shoot them like a brochure.
Yeah.
And I remember just thinking, God, Amy Carter is ugly. It's just a collection
Nice.
of pictures of the first family.
So even then, you were shaming people for their looks.
I was, man. I was like,
Yeah.
dude,
They're nice
how
enough
can
to
you be
send
a president's daughter and be so ugly?
They're so
Why would
they're
they-
nice. They're nice enough to respond to your little shit kid ass, and all you can do is make fun of his gross daughter.
Yeah.
Nice.
She was the ugliest chick. You look her up, man.
She wasn't uglier than Chelsea,
Yeah,
dude.
Chelsea sort of took the mantle there.
And she never got cute either.
no.
You know, Chelsea just
Big
started
teeth.
ugly as fuck with the braces,
I don't know,
and then
dude.
just continued.
She was
to be
very
ugly.
awkward.
You don't think
Yeah.
this is? I think this is uglier than Chelsea.
Lisa, or I'm sorry, Amy Carter.
Oh, boy.
Check her out. She's a ginge, first off.
I think that's uglier than Chelsea.
Wow.
Yeah, see? I'm like a kid. I'm in, no, I was in King Kong Land at the time. I was in
Second
third
grade.
Yep, second grade, King Kong Land, ruling the universe. And here I get this back, and I'm like, dude,
She didn't get much better either.
Oh boy.
is this her? That's her wedding? Shit.
Yep.
I mean, to be
Look
fair,
what
the
she
guy's
married. Does he
kinda-
have a marijuana leaf on his fucking
Oh, my
jacket?
God.
What's
That
going
guy-
on there?
That guy is marrying for the name.
Amy Carter.
That guy is an EDM DJ somewhere.
So when I wrote to the White House, it was in second grade. When I went to the White House, I was probably in fourth.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, like, in relation to this picture, how you entered. I mean, you didn't just walk in the front door.
I have
Oh,
a,
that sucks.
I'll bring it in. It's in our house, so I do have. That's not where we walked in, but I have an image of me right outside that kind of
Really?
that area.
That front portico
Yeah,
area.
I'll bring it in tomorrow.
It's a beautiful house.
Yeah, it is.
Mike, with that, we'll save the rest for tomorrow.
All right. So was it Reagan then who was there when you went to visit?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't get to say hi, did you?
No,
Yeah,
he wasn't in that day.
He was out. Of course, always out, skipping work. All right, that's all we got.
Yep. Save the
All
rest
right.
for tomorrow.
Let's get out of here then. Thank you to Charlie Wolberg for coming by. We had fun talking to him. And check out the book too at
Mocha Boca,
Mocha
Mike.
Boca. Excuse me,
You
Mocha
just sent
Boca.
people to Make a Baca. It's Mocha Boca.
I was thinking about your dumb answer about Make a Booka or whatever you were talking about. Mocha Boca.
I'm not the first or the last to think that's what it relates to. I'm just saying.
I was going to give you credit for that. I didn't think of that until you said it. All right, we'll get out of here. We'll do it again tomorrow. See everybody then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.